Mm-mm-mm.
Alrighty, guys, welcome back. So, our next guest is Nick. He is the co founder of Taste the Origin and the founder of Café con Latinos. So, go follow them right
Period.
now.
Yep.
Okay. So, Nick, we'll talk about first Taste the Origin. So, tell us how this all started. I think it's a pretty dope story. Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, what's up, guys? Thanks for having me on here. I'm super excited to be on here.
Of course.
Basically,
For real.
Taste the Origin is kind of like my third project in coffee. It all goes back to 2018 when me and Luna, my girlfriend, visited Bali, Indonesia. We tried this crazy coffee, and I was like, "Yo, like, I want to sell this in LA. Let's do it." So I just jumped into coffee, not knowing anything about coffee, and then I just started working towards it. And like graduated college, I was like, "Yo, like, I don't know anything about coffee, honestly. Like, I got to go back to square one." When I
Mhm.
graduated, I moved to Colombia for 3 months for the summer of 2019. Moved there for 3 months, just kind of packed up and left, stayed with Luna's grandparents, and just had like a 3 month crash course of learning everything I need to know about coffee.
Mhm.
And then from there, I like built a network all across Latin America, and then came back and like started my first coffee project. So the idea was to have a full blown coffee product finished in its origin, and then sell it with my brand in the States. That didn't work out. So then we moved to like a more traditional trading model of coffee where we import coffee and then sell it to roasters and like your local coffee shop. And then that didn't work because we don't have all the money to be able to do that. And then also COVID hit, so like everything was just like
Yeah.
Yeah.
with Taste the Origin. Really, me and my business partner Colin really thought about like, well, like, what can we do like to continue what we're doing, but also still support all of the producers and people in Origin that were affected by COVID. Because already these people don't make nearly enough to support their
Mhm.
Yeah.
lives. Like just yesterday in Colombia, I spoke with a producer, and they're only going to profit like $200 out of the thousands of pounds of coffee they sell a year. It's just nuts. It's wild.
Yeah.
So that's part of the reason why we started Taste the Origin was like, okay, how can we create more value for people in Colombia, people in Guatemala, people in Kenya, Uganda, all over the world that aren't necessarily making a means to live a comfortable life. And so with
Mhm.
Taste the Origin now, we're doing that, and we're basically it's a marketplace in the States where people can buy roasted and origin coffee. It's roasted by either producers themselves or partners, different roasting partners in origin. And then people in the US can basically have a coffee that comes straight from Colombia, straight from their home country, if they're Mexican, Honduran, or Salvadoran,
Period.
whatever.
Wow, for
And
real.
so people have this unique experience at home in the States, and at the same time, they're buying an ethically sourced, ethically purchased product straight from the person who grows the coffee from seed to cup. So that's kind of the idea with Taste the Origin, just trying to not necessarily completely change the supply chain and change an industry, but at least do our part and create an impact where we have control and where we can create that impact.
Wow. I just think, first of all, okay, I just became like a quote unquote coffee person. And I thought I was a coffee person because I would get it from Starbucks. Now I'm
Uh,
realizing I'm such a failure. Okay. It's okay, Nick. I can tell myself that. Clearly, I have to invest in better coffee. But I think that this is so, your brain, literally, how you did this is so smart. I don't think anyone has come up with that actually. It's like how you were saying an Amazon for coffee, basically.
Really, that's it. Yeah, yeah. And a part of it too is like, and going back to what you said about Starbucks, like it's not your fault, like it's people like that, and there's nothing wrong with liking like what you like in coffee. It's more of a matter of like having more of an understanding of like who is actually being affected when you purchase your coffee. Like people
Yeah.
don't
Mm.
realize that sometimes only 5 cents of your cup of coffee only goes. It's only 5 cents of your $2.50 coffee goes to the producer. Like that's nothing, right?
Yeah.
Um, and that's a part of why we're doing as well is to put more education and more awareness out there so that people at least have an understanding of what really happens and so what the realities are. And if at the end of the day they still want to go drink their Starbucks and go drink their coffee bean or Folgers or whatever, like that's on them.
Yeah.
Like at least we're doing our part to inform people and really create awareness of realities that that are happening, in 2020, which is wild.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know. Honestly, and I never put two and two. Like, I know with the ethicalness, unethicalness, and like clothes and stuff like that, and I never connected like coffee to like, and it makes so much sense. Like, yo, like we import all this stuff, but we're not realizing the people who are actually picking the coffee beans, the
Hmm.
work goes behind manufacturing behind all of that. Like, that's insane. Like to think that like that's happening and like everything again gets swept under the rug. As long as you're getting your $9 coffee from Starbucks, okay, the world is beautiful. And it's like, no, like this shit is really happening out here. Like that's crazy to me. So I know you said that your idea came in on your Bali trip and stuff like that, correct?
Yeah.
Um, what did you go to school for, if you don't mind me
So
asking?
yeah, no. So I studied political science and economics at
Oh
University,
wow.
small private
Okay.
school in Southern California. And that's kind of what kind of sparked my interest in the world and
Mhm.
traveling, exploring more. Um, I had some really amazing professors. I had studied some really amazing things, but that's because I enjoyed it. I went to school because I enjoyed it.
Yeah.
Um, and for me, it was worth it. A lot of people say like, oh, like, what are you using your degree for? And it's like, technically, I am actually using my degree. I'm applying it to what the coffee industry revolves around politics and global economics.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Especially
Mhm.
now.
It really
Exactly. Yeah,
does. Yeah.
100%. So like, I'm very fortunate that I can use my degree and apply that knowledge um, to my business. But at the same time, like, you know, did I get a job because of my degree? No, and I'm super okay with that because like I enjoyed going to school and I enjoyed learning what I did. Um,
Mm.
and but that's just me. That's not, I can't speak for anybody else. Like,
Yeah.
Yeah.
people, like, they don't go to school and that's chill. Like, they're still successful and that's like, I applaud them for that. Like, that's dope.
Yeah.
Uh,
Yeah.
but that's just that worked for me. That's what I did, and I had fun. Yeah, it was good, and it helped me flourish into this more open-minded, and aware person I am today, I think.
Wow, I 100% agree with that. No offense to you Californians, not at all. But sometimes I really do feel like you guys have like this bubble that like you don't leave the bubble of your area. And me, I'm
Oh
like a
yeah.
person, I'm like a social butterfly. And don't get me wrong, I have my cousins who are also Californian, and I've seen it firsthand where they don't even know what it's like to leave their neighborhood. And I'm like,
Yeah.
okay, that's weird because I'm from Miami. Boy, I go like 100 miles away from my house, north and south. I'm in the hood. I'm in the rich area. I'm in a mixture of everything. I like to be. What do they say? The Auro con gandules. That's me. Okay, and so I think for you, or I would say like for you, was it hard for your parents to understand that you're not going to be put in that bubble, and you decided to expand outside of it?
Yeah, I mean, honestly, I was pretty fortunate the way I grew up.
Mhm.
My both my parents are Latino, Mexican background. My dad's part Spanish, so I come from like different, an understanding of different Latino cultures and
Mhm.
Latin cultures. But my parents also grew up in the hood, in the ghetto. Like, my dad grew
Yeah.
up in the Heights of LA, like during a time when it was like gang infested and just violence and
Hmm.
crime. So he already, when he raised me to be open minded, understood. Like, he showed me where he came from, like, to not be afraid of, like, all these other areas. They didn't close me up and not show me the realities of the world. And a
Yeah.
part of that has really helped me, like, every week when we go to the hood and, like, have some tacos on the street or whatever. And
I feel
at a young
you.
age, I
Mhm.
was already exposed to that kind of stuff. So, growing up, like, I had no problem going out into the real world or exploring the world because, I was accustomed to it already. Like, that's me. That's who I am.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Wow,
So
that's so dope.
yeah, yeah, it was good.
He's like, I'm from the hood, and that's on
Yeah.
period.
I'm not from the hood, but at least I understand, like, I understand it, like, from my
Yeah.
parents. And
Yeah.
that's where I said, that's where I think I'm fortunate, is like, I'm fortunate the way I grew up, but I'm also humbled to know, like, where my parents came from and, like,
Mhm.
how the kind of life they were able to give me, and helps me stay level and stay on the ground and
Mhm.
not.
Yeah. And not, yeah, where life is like a la la land, and it's not, let me tell you.
Yeah.
And I think that's why I feel like for me at least, I feel like it's so important for people to have like a different, you have to be acclimated to different types of people in the world, you know, because
Mhm.
I feel like if you have this scenario, for example, like in Miami, we're known for the Cubans. If you only hang out with Cubans, you're only gonna know Cuban things, you know, compared to like me, right? I'm Honduran, and then I meet other Hondurans, but then I meet Nicaraguenses, then I meet Salvadorans, then I meet my Cubans
Mhm.
too, but then I got my Haitians, my Jamaicans, and it's like a whole like melting pot, literally. So I feel like you just learn it's little bit of things from each person, and it just makes you more comfortable. That's why when I feel like I get put into like social settings, I don't feel socially awkward because I feel like I can be
Mhm.
relatable.
Yeah,
Mhm.
100%. And like where I went to high school too, like I mean, same thing. Like I went to a school of 4,500 students, and like there was a bunch of different races and ethnicities, and like for me, going to school in that kind of environment, you know, it was always normal for me to be around different people and different personalities and characters and races and cultures and all this stuff, and it never really like it was normal to me, and I was chill with that. Like I never felt out of place, so it was nice. It was really good to go to experience that.
Yeah, that's really good actually as well. So, my question to you is, so what motivated you to become an entrepreneur? Because I know you do Taste the Origin, and then you also do the other side
Café
project as
con
well that you,
Latinos.
yeah, yes, Café con Latinos. Yeah. So what motivated you to have like both careers, I would like to say.
Yeah. So like, I've always been ever since I grew up. I knew I couldn't have a boss. Like I can't have someone tell me
Oh
what to
my
do.
God, I feel you.
It's just like
Snaps.
that's in I can't do that. And so I'm already in that mindset of like I gotta do my own thing. Like I can't have a ceiling of how much money I can make, how much I can what I can do or whatever.
Mhm.
Mhm.
Um, so I've always grown up like that, and then finally when I graduated college, like this is my opportunity to use coffee as my way to start to become my own boss. But as I grew older too, like I realized it's not just about what I want. Like it's more also about like the impact I can have on people, the positive impact.
Yeah.
Um, coffee was like that was the thing that put all those things together, and now like I have the control to do what I want with my life, but also like I don't have to be restricted by someone else's norms if I want to do this kind of project. You know, like if I want to
Yeah.
go here and sit down with the producer and you know break down their costs and like see how I what I can do to like with the access that I have to help them, then I'm gonna do that. Like I don't have somebody saying like, well, no, you're restricted to this and that, and it's like, nah,
Mm.
Yeah.
I'm gonna do it, and like I'm gonna do it
Watch
good.
me.
Yeah, for real.
Exactly. And yeah, so that's kind of the mentality I have is like knowing that I'm in control and that I have the opportunity to help other people, you know, elevate their lives and live their lives, and I'm gonna do everything I can to do that for sure, 100%.
Hell yeah.
For
Shoot.
real.
I think
Yeah,
it's really
Like,
dope. Especially since like you kind of created your own job in a sense, you know, like
yes,
there's not
yes.
really a title, or at least I'm pretty sure other people probably do it, but I think the way that you're doing it, and I love that you're really involved in like the Latino culture. Also, like you mentioned like
Yes.
Uganda and Kenya. Like I think
yeah,
that these are countries that I think being in America, being like first gen, second gen, whatever gen you are, you kind of forget that. Like you forget your roots, you know? And we
yeah,
want to claim like, oh yeah, like I'm Mexican Salvadorian, but like, what am I really doing for my people back home? Because I
Yeah.
have privilege here. So how am I
Mhm.
going to use my privilege to help my people here and help my people back home? So
yeah.
I genuinely love that because I mean, you're not Colombian. I mean, why did you choose Colombia as your first country?
No, I mean, yeah, like that goes back to like what you're saying too, like you know, getting back to your people, like Latino people, and it's
Mm-hmm.
like I come from mostly Mexican background, and my parents raised me in Mexican traditions and whatnot, and
Mm-hmm.
I'm proud. I'm a proud Latino. Like I'm very proud, and and it was only until like maybe a few years ago that I really had this self identity as like a proud Latino, which I'm proud of. But I chose Colombia because Luna, my girlfriend, has had a huge impact on like my successes and my journey forward and whatnot. And she's Colombian, and she has family there, and so it was a culture that I quickly became accustomed to, and I quickly grew love for, um,
Mhm.
and it helped me gain a love for all Latino communities. And so I chose to go there because her family's my family now, and so I had family here, and it was somewhere I can start to be comfortable, but also it's a Latino country, and it could be the way into like starting to do what I want to do and help the Latino community, and then from there in the future help the whole world. But yeah, I mean, Colombia has been great to me, and Medellin is like
Parse.
Yeah, para say.
Parcero.
here in Medellin. Like, I consider it my second home now. I mean,
Yeah.
Medellin, like,
Oh, he's like
Medellin's
Nicky Jam.
Yeah.
and, and yeah, it's it's amazing. And then on that too, like that's why I started Coffee con Latinos, because I feel like in the Latino cult community in coffee, we don't get enough recognition.
And it's
And
such a big thing for our culture too.
Yes.
coffee is a huge thing. Like, whether you drink it at home with your family or like you produce it over in Colombia, Mexico, wherever, like
Hmm.
coffee is like it's an incredibly important part to like the Latino community worldwide. That I
Yeah.
feel like there's not enough conversation about it or awareness about it, and that's why I started Coffee con Latinos. I want to be able to feature and promote different Latinos across the industry, and they don't even have to work in the industry. Even if you just like drinking coffee at home with your
Coffee.
family, like, that's what it's all about. Like, coffee is about people, and my people, Latinos. Like, I want to try to promote my people.
Hell yeah. Shit. Put us on the map,
Amen.
Nick.
Ooh. Yes, I totally agree with that. I feel like my earliest memories like growing up is always like the adults drinking like the coffee la mesa, and
With
that's
the
when like the
pan.
chisme and
Yeah.
the chisme was about to get real serious.
But
Yes,
the conversation
literally.
and everything, yeah.
Oh my God, yes. So
Literally.
what do you think is like your ultimate goal with Café con Latinos and Taste the Origin? What would be like your whole, let's say for example, money is out of it. If you had one ultimate goal, what would it be for those two brands that you have going on?
I mean, yeah, I mean, I have like my dreams and aspirations, but I think a goal that I have that's like super realistic in the next few years for Taste the Origin is to be able to help a producer be able to make a yearly and sustainable living income that's not just supports their family but also their community. Um, that's my real goal. I'm really trying harder to learn more about these producers here, to figure out what their realities are and what their needs are, and then use my platform to help them elevate their living standards. Within the next, I don't know, 2 to 5 years, I want to be able to see a producer go from $200 a year profit to $50,000 a year profit. 'Cause it's
Oh,
Oh, yeah. That'd be
so
beautiful.
yeah,
like
for
we don't realize
real.
how like attainable that is if we do our work. Like it's there, and like like it's there, and like I can't emphasize it enough. And like that's my goal, is to really help one producer do that, because then if I can help one producer do that, we can help thousands of producers do that. And
Then yeah, you know that it's obtainable for to do it for
Yeah.
everybody then at that point.
Hmm.
exactly. And then with Coffee con Latinos, like I just want to keep promoting Latino culture and coffee. Like it's a beautiful thing, and
Yeah.
Yeah.
that's kind of my fun project that, like, honestly, I don't really know where it's gonna go yet. Like I don't know if I want to turn it into like a nonprofit to support more Latino communities worldwide, or if it's just a page to create awareness. Like I'm just having
Mhm.
fun with it, and like wherever it takes me, it takes me.
Yeah, I feel
Yeah.
like Café con Latinos is like your creative side, where you're just like, like let's all drink coffee together. And then Taste the Origins is like, okay, now this is the awareness. Let's help all our people out.
Yeah.
100%, exactly.
So what
I
could we
totally get it.
do here? Like since Brittany and I were in the States, obviously like
Yeah.
she's in Florida, I'm in California. Like what could we do as consumers to help your business or help these producers in different countries, like our countries, our home countries? Because I think it's so important because like I didn't know that. Like going to Starbucks, like they only give 5 cents. Like what the fuck? That pisses me off?
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean it's kind of frustrating, honestly. Like I don't want to call Starbucks out, or like I don't want to say
Oh
names,
yeah, no.
but like
I'll call them up for you. It's okay.
Respectably.
I'll take that. I'll take it.
having like an understanding of like how much big corporations really rip off, not even just big corporations, but big companies really rip off like for small producers. Like it's incredible. It's like it's so unethical.
Yeah.
And I think as consumers, like the first way to like really start that movement is to first be aware of what you're buying. Transparency is a huge thing. Like if you're buying from a coffee brand, it doesn't have to be from Taste Origin. Like it could be from your favorite local roaster. Like that's chill too. But as long as like they're transparent and saying like how much they bought the coffee for, the producer's name, like if they're giving you all the information you need to know where that coffee came from, like that's an amazing first step. And then from there, the second step, like buying a taste origin, that'd be chill too,
Yeah. Honestly, I'm gonna do it now that I have the info. I'm about to
Oh yeah,
call.
that's gonna be my abuela's present for Christmas.
Me too. I'll be like, abuela, let me get you some real coffee, okay, honey?
Yeah,
Let
with
me
the
get
cute ass
you.
mug.
Yeah. Listen, shop local, guys. Okay, shop local or international, but only international if you're buying from Taste of Origin. Anywhere else,
Period.
canceled.
small farmholder producers in different countries, like that's chill too. But yeah, I think that's just the biggest thing is being aware of what you're buying. Like with like technology in these days, like we have to access so much information that there should be no
True.
question as to why you shouldn't know what you're buying or where you're getting it from.
Facts.
We have like Google's at our fingertips. And
Yeah.
if you're still buying your Folgers and your crappy coffee and like that's screwing someone over, then like, nah, fam, like you gotta step it up.
Yeah, it's time to get it
Yeah,
together. For
that's
real.
true.
So yeah,
But I
that's
feel
like
like you could taste it. Like
The difference, yeah.
last year we went to Vegas and then Vegas was like, Nat, try this. Cause I'm not a coffee drinker by all means. I mean, it has to be like diabetes in a cup for me to drink
Yeah.
it. So I think you I don't know what it was. I forgot which one, but it was like so good. And then you were teaching me how like you could taste like what are they like there's different things. Like I don't know anything about coffee, but like you could like
yeah, I mean that's the thing about like specialty coffee too is like these people like it takes a special person to produce a special product if you think of it that way. Like these people
Mhm.
that
Yeah.
they put their work and soul into producing an amazing coffee that like I said, if you want to drink them with cream and sugar, that's on you. But these coffees, these coffees are meant to be drinking black. I mean, they're not bitter. They're very smooth. Naturally, they're supposed to have a lot of sweet like flavor notes that come out of it. And it ends up surprising a lot of people because there's this stigma that coffee is only supposed to be black and bitter, and it's like, nah,
Yes. Oh my God.
Actually, yeah.
Yes.
like coffee,
Literally.
like it should be sweet. It's actually sweet, if you have a good
Thank
coffee.
you.
Yeah. Coffee is literally a fruit, it's a seed of a fruit. So
Yeah.
obviously there's going to be a lot of sweet notes and like I taste like I drink some crazy coffees and like I get like flowers and peach and apples and all
That's
these
so
crazy
cool.
things.
Okay, can we go coffee tasting just so I can, expand my palate because
Yeah.
I got the
okay,
recommendation
so
from Miami as well if I'm not there. So
and that's on period. It's about to be an amazing group trip. I don't know what we're gonna do. You're gonna come here, and then we're gonna get into a lot of good fun, and then you're
yeah,
gonna get on the plane, and it's gonna be a good time.
if you like alcohol, there's some crazy things you can do with coffee and alcohol. Like it's
Really?
yeah.
Okay, so when are we linking up? I'm trying to go to Colombia. Nat. So
Look
get your
out.
passport.
Girl, it's coming.
A whole like coffee and beverage, drink scene. Like they have this drink here called they have a cerveza cafe de cerveza, which is like half beer, half coffee. Yeah, one
What?
called limonada y cafe. It's half lemonade, half coffee. Like they get creative with these drinks and they're so good, like amazing. It's all high
Okay,
quality.
we need to have right
We're
now
going
my mind.
international.
Yeah, for real. Because and what we have in Miami is we have cafe cubano, and that's with
Oh
a lot of
yeah.
freaking sugar and a lot of freaking cream, and like so fattening for you. But it literally makes you feel like you're drinking a Red Bull. But I'm definitely down to try coffee limonada and cafe con cerveza. That sounds like a party too. So I'm down for all of that.
Oh yeah, yeah, it'd be tight.
Right,
Damn.
bro?
See,
I'm
this is
telling.
so cool, and I think it's so interesting how like I wouldn't have known this, and I think that it's like it just enriches the culture. Like as you're
Yeah.
speaking, I'm just like, wow, like this is another thing that like because I think especially like right now and like even just in general from like different generations and time, being Latino has been like looked down upon. Like I think it's
Mhm.
beautiful how you created your own job. One, you're not coming here like taking someone's job, or but that you fact that you actually give a shit about people. Like
Yeah.
I think that's also important to mention that like we use dollars here, but in Colombia it's pesos, right? The Colombian pesos. So it's totally less than what our dollar is here. So
Yeah.
like the fact that he's only making $200, like dude, that's like a cell phone bill for us, you know, like
Yeah, for real.
per month. Like he makes that a year. Like that just breaks my heart. And these are some of the most humblest people. I see your photography that you take, and it's just they look so happy to genuinely be like producing coffee. And I think like guys, buy from freaking Taste the Origin right the fuck now. Okay, link will
Yeah,
be
for
in our
real.
bio. Like it's so
You can definitely
important.
find it there. I honestly, I'm about to put
Yeah.
all my whole family on. I'm like, PA, listen. Where are you trying? What type of coffee you trying to drink? Are we going to Africa? Are we going to Latin
Yeah.
America? Are we go? Where are we going? Because I feel like, yo, honestly, like I'm definitely gonna expand my palate for sure. Because right now I've been hooked
Mm.
on this. I like the tall caramel macchiato from Starbucks with a shot of espresso and almond milk. But I'm about to make my own now with Taste the Origin, and I could
Hell
just do it from
yeah.
home. Because my dad always told me, like, why are you gonna spend money on coffee when like you can literally make it in your house, and you'll probably even make it better when you make it at your house. And especially if I get from Taste the Origin, I already know my coffee's gonna be fresh. So
Mm.
I know I'm about to do a DIY. Wait
You
on it.
know, the TikTok.
But
I love
Nick, thank you so much for joining us. We truly do appreciate it. Guys, again, we're going to put all their Instagram information below. We have Taste the Origin and Café con Latinos. We truly appreciate you, Nick, and what you're doing for the world. Honestly, another humanitarian. I'm living for the humanitarian season this
Mm-hmm.
year. Like, and of course, guys, always shop local, shop small, shop black, shop Latinx, shop brown, all of that, guys. We have to literally stick up for our own people
Oh
because
yeah.
in reality, these corporations are literally making a whole bunch of money on us. And honestly, it's time to give back to our communities. So
Mm-hmm.
thank you so much, Nick. We really do appreciate you. Okay.
appreciate
Yes,
it.
thank
Thank you.
you.
Alrighty.